Welcome to Beyond Six Figures, the podcast that helps business coaches to micro-niche, get noticed, and become fully booked. Learn from top industry leaders who've successfully taken their businesses and their lives beyond six figures. Get ready to level up your coaching business and make this world a better place, one business at a time. And now, here's your host, Ziv Raviv.
Welcome to Beyond Six Figures. Our guest today is Eric Woodard, a master's certified coach with 25 plus years working across the White House, US Senate, and the State Department. He now leads We Network, provides coaching services for executives, for consultants and leaders, and help them break through limiting beliefs, land high impact roles, and build leadership presence. Eric works blends deep inner transformation and sharp outer strategy, perfect for coaches that are ready to scale with high-value clients and sustainable business models. Eric is also a thing or two to share with us about getting yourself fully booked, which is a topic that I'm personally excited to dig deeper into. As always, thank you, Eric, for being here. Hi, how are you?
I'm great, Ziv. And I just want to thank you for doing this podcast, for inviting me. And just thanks for all the work that you do and all the people that you've helped, coaches and others. It's awesome. It's inspiring, man. So I really acknowledge your service. Can't wait to get into all of it, man.
Thank you. So, Eric, you've been helping a lot of people in different places in business, right? Like finding a career and building up, finding their passion, starting their business. And today I want to focus on a part of your work, which I think is the most relevant for other business coaches, which is how do you get yourself to be booked? How do you actually get through that process? And you've been helping other people and yourself. Your wall of testimonials on your presence is remarkable. It shows that people are appreciative. So let's start with maybe before that's where we will go to. But first, let's start with your journey. Tell us a little bit, how did you get to write your books and become a coach?
Yeah, and I'll give you the quick version, right, for time's sake. But I've got kind of a weird story. So I grew up in Asia. I grew up in mostly East Asia, and came to the U.S. when I was 17. I wound up transferring college 7 times. I wound up as a scuba instructor on the island of Guam, which was pretty cool. But I spent about 10,000 hours underwater, and that sort of got my brain spongy. And so I thought, Ziv, I got to pull it together career-wise. So I decided I was going to be a White House intern. So I applied for an internship at the White House. Never thought I'd get it. I did, and sort of fell out of a plane here in Washington, D.C. Had this big bushy haircut, had to get a haircut, bought a suit, and showed up to the White House. And this was a while ago. This was back when President Clinton was in office. So I worked in Hillary Clinton's office and the First Lady's office for a lot of the Clinton administration, followed her to the US Senate, State Department, wound up as director of fellowships and internships at the Smithsonian. And sort of all during this time, I saw a lot of people struggling in life and work, trying to figure things out. So round about the pandemic, I was like, screw it. I'm going to do my own coaching thing. So I've been doing that for about 5 years. It's my beautiful, smart wife, and she works too. And our kids, 4 kids, none of them are starving yet. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's the benefit of having clients. And so every year just gets better and better. And so I'm a lightweight. I know you've been coaching for longer than I have. So I have to follow in your footsteps, Ziv. That's how it works.
Well, 5 years are already enough to build a name for yourself. And that's a lot of what we're striving to do with this show, to help people like you and support the industry. So, but you've already, as you mentioned, you have kids. You have four kids that are impressive. In my books, it's really not an easy chore to deal with that and to support them, and they have their own needs. So tell us a little bit about what you actually do these days that work for you in regards to like making money as a coach.
Yeah, making money as a real American dollars here, right? So it's like, you may be familiar, like Have you ever read The Prosperous Coach, like Steve Chandler and those guys? So I sort of come out of that legacy a bit, right? And I've had the honor of getting coached by Steve, and one of his folks that he coaches, who's one of my coaches, her name's Carolyn Freyer Jones. So I sort of come out of that legacy, which is really like service oriented, right? The idea is that, and I suspect, I'm looking at you, I can tell you're smashing, is like service is always rewarded, right? If we're serving people, it's rewarded. And I'll be honest with you, I'm a fan of like AI, and I love marketing, and I love email systems and all the rest. I geek out on all that. I like logos and all that kind of, see, I even got one on my shirt, right? Where's the size? See, I got fun logos. Like, I love this stuff. And at the end of the day, all of that is secondary in my experience. It's really about like just serving, just helping people. And that's easier said than done, but it's simple. It's a simple system. Yeah.
I think there's a lot of deep meaning in what you just said, because when you want to serve people, it means two very, very significant things. It means specific people, like actual people, right? It can't be theoretical. It needs to be a person that has a credit card or a wallet or a name or a history or a problem, or all of them together ideally. And more than that it's actually serving real people and specific people. It also means, really, if you serve someone, you can't really serve them unless you make a change in their lives. What do you think about the importance of transformations in your work?
Yeah, well, the phrase, and I have to make sure I don't mess it up, but you want to be a trusted agent of transformation. Like, that's what we're after. And often my experience is when we're talking to prospective clients, there's only one reason they will hire us, right? It's the same reason that people will hire us for a job or date us or a lot of other things. And that's trust. That's trust. That's it. It's not our skills. It's not our experience. It's nothing. It's, do they trust us? And one of the ways that we build that trust is if they've had an experience of coaching, right? If they've had a coaching session, and in that session, they've experienced the needle moving. When they've had that experience, like they're going to be able to pay coaching fees and all the rest. 100%. 100%.
So, and this is a big part of the benefit of reading the Prosperous Coach book, is that it gives you this idea of the first session being free, and the strategy session, which I absolutely support and love, and have been benefited from doing this for years. But I want to ask you, how do you actually get people to trust you enough so that they will say yes for that first session?
It's such a great question. And, I have so many funny stories of my own and other coaches meeting people on airplanes. Like one time I actually met a prospective client. I was in a dentist chair and I was like, I have a coaching call. And so I have all these stories. Like, clients are everywhere. Like, there's, 8 billion people in the world. And of course, there's nobody that needs help in today's world. I'm being sarcastic. Of course they do. Like, everybody, the world is in need right now. I mean, especially where you live. I mean, like, the world, there's crazy stuff going on in the world, right? And so it's like, me here too. It's everywhere. And so when we approach people, right, if we can keep our ears open to when they say something that most people don't hear, like most people that they might say, oh, this thing is going on. And most people will be like, oh, well, let me tell you about that happened to me. And they just bulldoze through it, right? If we can be the one person in their life that's like, oh, yeah, tell me more about that. And then if we feel like we can help them, we can say like, I help people with that exact thing. If you wanted, we could schedule a coaching conversation. It would be unlike any other conversation you've ever had. Nobody coaches like I do. Is that something you'd like to do? And it's 100% okay if you don't want to. Let me know either way. And we can schedule it right now, right? And it's fine whether they want to or not. But it's about service, not are they going to become my client, not are they going to pay me, not can they pay me. It's just, can I serve? And some people will say no, but a lot of people will say yes, in part because I'm showing leadership. Yeah.
And you do this with people who are a part of an organization. You do this with people that are business owners. What's your preference between the two? Do you have any personal preference?
It's a great question, because sometimes like I'll do like when I help people find jobs, they'll be like, well, do you work with rocket scientists? Do you work with art historians? And this is a little bit contradictory because everybody's like, you got to have a niche, right? And I get the argument. The other argument is I coach humans. Like whether I'm qualified, they're like, I'll take them is you take two fingers and you go like this. And if they have a pulse, I'll take them, right? No, you got to be coachable, right? Because there's some people you'll have a conversation with and they'll just be like, well, I know this, I know this. You're like, well, have you considered? No, I know. Great. Good luck with all that. It doesn't mean they're uncoachable. It just means that I don't have to be the guy to coach them because it could be exhausting, right? So it's like the opportunity is like the world's in need and the world needs more coaches. There's never been a greater need for people to be trusted agents of transformation than there is right now.
So what do you actually do with a client that you feel like brings them to the point where they actually transform their lives?
Yeah, it's different for everybody. And a lot of times it's not necessarily the thing we plan for. I mean, very often, I'm sure you've experienced this too, Ziv, like people will come to us and they'll be like, well, I want to create this result. And along the way to creating that result, they'll be like, yeah, I don't want to do any of that. Like, I don't want to do any of that. And if that's all that comes from the coaching, that can be really valuable in itself. I'm often reminded, I'm sure there's I think it's from the Lord of the Rings or something. It's like, what is it? Not all who wander are lost. I think is the Tolkien quote. But it's like often people are so fixated on the doing that they lose sight of the opportunity to focus on the being. So people will come to me with a to-do list. Well, here's all the things I got to go out and do. I got to do. I'm like, there's higher leverage. Like instead of worrying about what we're going to do, let's worry about who we're going to be. And the doing will take care of itself. It's my experience.
I love it. And it makes you see a different list of things you want to do if you actually are trying to become something that is different, something that you are inspired to become.
Yeah.
Sometimes even it's not the specific list of like there's many ways to achieve the same goal.
Exactly.
Sometimes, right? You could make a name for yourself on different social media platforms in different ways with different type of content and so on and so forth. So it's about listening to the client, understanding what they actually want to become and not worry necessarily about the do.
100%. Ziv, do you know the acronym CTFAR? Are you familiar with that? Oh,
nope.
Okay. You might know this a different version, right? CTFAR, right? So you can think of it as Connecticut FAR, CTFAR. So the C stands for circumstances. Stuff's going to happen in the world, right? We can't change that, right? The T stands for thoughts, beliefs. The F stands for feelings. The A stands for actions. The R stands for results. Now, what a lot of people wind up doing is they focus on the A. I got to go out and do stuff. But if you look at that chain, we can't necessarily change circumstances, but we can sure change our thoughts, which are going to drive our feelings and all the rest. So if we focus on, well, what beliefs are working for us, it just gives us so much more leverage than what are we just going to go do? CTFAR.
Love it. Tell me a little bit about your average week. What does a week in Eric's life look like?
Yeah, well, it's changed quite a bit. So probably 2 years ago, I was kind of a solopreneur. I had a few assistants that would help me with some admin stuff. But then even over the last 18 months, I sort of had an evolution now, and I spend an obscene amount of money on coaching, just so you know. I have a lot of coaches because it'd be sort of hypocritical for me to be a coach to not have a coach, right? I mean, good coaches have coaches. So if your listeners are listening to this and they haven't invested in working with Ziv, go do that, obviously. I mean, come on, folks. Anyhow, or a good coach, any good coach. So, but I started thinking, so my roster would start to fill up and I would have these swings of I'd have a full roster and I would sort of take my foot off enrollment and then my roster would open up and then so it was sort of this back and forth. So I was like, okay, I've got to get somebody to help me with coaching. And eventually I was like, well, that won't work because only I can do the coaching. And I got some good coaching where I was like, people just want results, Eric. So now I have 8 or 9 coaches that coach for me. That is awesome. So that takes me out. But then I spent all my time doing enrollment. I was the only one doing enrollment. And then that got out of hand. So now I have 3 people that help me with enrollment. And so now it opens up space for me to do a lot more working on the business than in the business. And so now we're really in the process of, and so even in the last year, like I've got a roster of 6 or 7 clients that are my one-on-one clients, and then everything else is by group. So I see all my clients, but they see me as group. They see me online communication, stuff like that. And it works great. And they get amazing results.
And so your coaches are doing some of the group work for you. Is that correct?
Sometimes, a lot of times they'll do the one-on-one stuff with the coaches that, yeah. So, and we have different sort of packages, the way we package it, but usually they'll work with clients for 3 months or so, bi-weekly coaching, one-on-one. And then all my clients will see me every week, at least twice a week. And they show up for a big group thing and we have at it. And then there's an online course. So many amazing resources, but because different people like to get coached in different ways. So we like to do it all. Yeah.
And so how do you find your coaches?
So interestingly, finding coaches hasn't been so hard. It's part through like meeting people like you. It's a part through, so I'm a 4-time graduate of the CFJ Coaching Success School, which is a school out in LA, which I've always gone to, and it's really helped me. It's run by that lady, Carolyn Frey-Jones. I'm now on faculty at that school. This is the first year I'm on faculty. And so those are my people. I go there. And so at any given time, I'll know 50 or 60 really good coaches. And some of them are a little bit earlier in their practice and they're wanting to fill their roster. And I'm like, let me help you with that. And then eventually I can't afford them. Right? They build their own stuff. And then there's other coaches that come in behind. So it's like that.
So in order to thrive and get your group's offerings to fill up and to make sure that your coaches are actually busy enough to be happy and content, you need a large amount of leads coming into your business. What are some of your proactive activities that you do?
It's a great question. Yeah. So some of it's doing podcasts like this, right? This is something I'm new. And so you're much more of a master at this than I am, right? It's so smart. And it's really like, it's a variety of things. I do some online stuff, and my sense is I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. So we're getting better at this year, is I go to past clients and I say, who do you know that's just like you? You were such an amazing client. Like, who do you know that's like you? And sometimes those clients will be like, well, what am I, chopped liver? Like, why won't you work with me again? And so sometimes that happens. Or sometimes they'll be like, well, I know 3 people that could really use your help. And that works. And then sometimes it's just serving people. So there's plenty of people that show up for my workshops or people that I meet that will never pay me $1 or a shekel, right? They'll never pay me any money, right? But not that. And that's okay. That's okay. And I've had so many occasions where I've nurtured people, I've served them, and they've never paid me any money, but they've referred 7 people to me. That happens a lot. You just never know. We don't want to buy into the story of where our clients are going to come from, because we're going to be wrong.
It's also, I think I hear between the lines, you got to the point where you've done this enough so that it kind of sustains itself. And when you have a lot of clients, then there's a lot of people that could talk about you and refer to you. And referring marketing is really wonderful. It's like a very powerful thing. It's an extension of word of mouth, and it's something that it makes so much sense to use for a coaching business. Yeah. So, Eric, what would you like people to do if they want to hang out with you or learn more about what you do and connect with you?
It's great. So the best place to find me is winatwork.io. And specifically, your people are job seeking. Probably the best thing I offer every week is we have this workshop called Get Hired Fast. It happens every Tuesday at noon, US Eastern time. We do it every week and it's free, and sign up for that. You can sign up right on my website. That, if people are looking to get more into like stuff that I do, that is definitely the best place to go. Yeah. Sign up for that.
I think it's important because when you notice a worker, when you know that they're doing something right, then go through their funnel, to like really study what they do. And I think that that's a wonderful opportunity. We're going to put into the show notes all the links of how you can connect with Eric and his books online and his amazing work at Win at Work. Thank you so much, Eric, for connecting with us. And thank you, everyone, for listening for another episode of Beyond Six Figures.
Thanks for listening to Beyond Six Figures. Check out the extended show notes that include bonus material, practical tips, and exclusive resources on our website, zivraviv.com. Until next time, keep dreaming big and pushing your business and your life beyond six figures.